hello. Missed you all. Hope you had a wonderful Easter. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. And I hope you are doing well. I hope you're healing your body, taking care of yourself, and so forth. We're going back into Tucson, Arizona. Get comfy. We're going to be talking about Nancy Guthrie. And by the end of this, if you do stick around, you're going to know why the back door, was left open in the gate, propped. According to all the research I've got, it just fell into place and fell in my lap in the research. We're going to be talking a lot about Annie Guthrie. Now, for the record, Sheriff Bananos has stated the family is clear. We have people that are saying that they're inside the case, they're working the case, and they're being, anonymous, saying the family's not a suspect. We can't even find a suspect. That being said, taken forward, they've also made the statement, Sheriff Bananos, that this assailant, the perp on the front porch, is 5'9" plus. Annie Guthrie is not that tall. She's around 5'5", 5'6". So there are some things to consider. But we are going to look at her, because we've looked at everybody else, to see how her face compares in the mask. And so I'm going to do facial mapping, finally, of Annie. The reason is, I no longer trust anybody investigating this case after finding out that they have absolutely no skills. Meaning, this is their first homicide case as a lead detective. That screams to me, don't trust anything they say. Did they get the angling of the camera measured right with the bricks and all that? Because it's not just this person's standing right next to the wall. You make a mark and you've got the height. So did they make an error? Just assuming bullcrap. Anyway, that being said, if they're not, as investigators and detectives, willing to dig into the culture and the religion of the individuals, then it could be that you miss it. How would they ever have solved the Zodiac killer? I think they solved it. If they don't dig in and learn what astrology is so that they can speak his language. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the date that Nancy Guthrie was taken was February 1st. We've had this problem we know of that Annie and Tommaso, each individually on their private cell phones, which are numbers not just hanging around out there on the public, but on their private cell phones, were messaged text by the secret mutilator, Derek Kalila, who was arrested for false or fake ransom. But he was like, hey, do you got the money? We're ready on our end. And he had their cell numbers. So that's always bothered me. They investigated Annie and Tommaso thoroughly. And they went in their home 6 different times they were Annie Guthrie's. What I'm about to share with you is where the other shoe falls. And I was gobsmacked when I learned why the back doors would have been propped open, but someone would leave through the front where we see the blood trail. This is all on paper. You can look it up yourself. This gets wild. So again, welcome to 1111 True Crime. Thank you as a live audience for tuning in the chat, as well as those that are just watching from home. And thank you as well to my beautiful replay crew. All of you matter, and your support, your likes, your hypes, and everything you do that supports this channel, subscribing, hyping it up, all that good stuff is showing. I keep getting these gold stars from YouTube, so thank you for that. I just keep staying focused on this case. I'm not going to let it go because I feel like there's so much to what we're finding out. And I'm not like a lot of other creators. I tend to go down my own rabbit hole. I pay attention to everybody. I watch their stuff. But when I'm like a bloodhound. When I get on something that clicks with the evidence, such as this is February 1st, this is one of the most important witchcraft dates. There's only 8 in the year, and February 1st is big. I'm looking at Annie Guthrie and Tommaso, who are in the band atmosphere. Tommaso's in the band, is in the band, I'll say, because I haven't heard that he's not. He performed July 2025, right, at Club Congress, where DJ Mojito is the residential DJ. Why is he important? Because he called the secret mutilator that private texted Annie about money for her mother, right? You got the money, we're good on our end kind of deal. He calls Mojito dad in a loving way. Perhaps Mojito got the secret mutilator, or the secret mutilator got Mojito going some way. So when I look at all that, I'm like, there's so much to this. And then we're looking at the whole scorched, right? And then scorched is something that they did, a celebration that was held and hosted by Dr. Mojito the weekend after Nancy Guthrie was taken. Scorched is an unholy ceremony for those that are Satanists and that are into self-mutilation. Secret mutilator? Well, then you have to consider, when you look at all this scorched stuff, that is exactly the words that Annie uses in her memorial thing, and talks about burning and burning love. We're going to get into all that. But mainly, by the end of this, you'll know a much bigger idea of why most likely those doors were propped open. Because I told a few people of our 1111 family, a few of the mods, and they were gobsmacked. They were like, I've got goosebumps. Holy crap. You can see it for your own eyes. You don't have to trust me. All right, so let's talk about this. Hold on, y'all. I got my screens messed up. Let me just switch that one down, get this one up. A lot of buttons here. I wanted to talk about this a little bit. We're going to do the facial mapping of Annie and compare to the mask, not only because I'm researching Annie, just like I have everybody else in this case, and I want to see how her face maps out. I really do. And I think you'll be surprised. Though we have had a lot of people, it could be anybody, so take that with a grain of salt. Now, Savannah. What'd y'all think of that Easter statement, you guys? What'd you think of the Easter statement? Hi, Claudia Walker. I always thought, look who needs the money. I don't think it's about money. I think it's about freedom. I do not think this is about money. I think this is about freedom. And that would also make sense with the doors. Hey, Sasha. Today it's on X. Yeah. Okay. Let's get over here and let's talk about Savannah's speech. Listen to this little snippet of that 8-minute video. I believe it was, how many minutes was it? I can't remember.
Recently, though, in my own season of trial, I have wondered. I have questioned whether Jesus really ever experienced this particular wound that I feel. This grievous and uniquely cruel injury of not knowing, of uncertainty and confusion, and answers withheld. In those darkest moments, I have thought, bitterly and perhaps irreverently, that I have stumbled upon a feeling that Jesus did not know. After all, don't the gospel stories recount Jesus informing his disciples of his destiny, that he had been sent to die to ultimately be raised up?
Why is Savannah comparing herself to Jesus? Making it sound like she personally believes that she has suffered more than Jesus. What is that? What is that? Why does this sound like Annie wrote this too? Like the poet wrote it. Something's off, way off. Liam, cheers, Mama D. The necklace prize. You mean prize arrived. Goes well with my pink earrings. Love you. Thank you, Liam. Thank you, lovely. Appreciate that. Nikki says 198 in chat. Only 44. I've got well over 200 in chat now. I'm way behind on reading chat. Could y'all please just take a minute right now and go hit the like to show your support, because this will be worth it. I don't do clickbait. It'll be worth it. It takes a little time to digest everything, but a like always shows your appreciation for my hard work. And so I appreciate that. I wonder if Jesus experienced this kind of wound. Yeah, that's what she said. M-N-J. Yep. Yeah, Linda Beatty says, I watched this in the middle of the night and I had to quit. She's not. She's just questioning her faith. You can go that way. You can go that way. But, you know, why are you coming out here on Easter Sunday spreading your negativity of questioning your faith? It's a holiday for children to embrace the new beginning. It's a holiday for us to realize no matter how dark things are, that we are safe in the knowledge that Jesus is our Savior and will protect us, and that He is alive. He has risen, period. It's not a time here to be selfish and think about how I feel. It's not a time to come out the day before you're going to get on national TV all dressed in yellow. And you guys, yellow plays a part in this entire thing too. When you find it all out, you're going to be like, holy crap. So you can believe that she was questioning her faith, but what business is it of ours? It's hard enough to keep my own faith, let alone listen to somebody go on about how they're comparing themselves to Jesus and did he have that kind of wound and compare themselves to him. That's just, it's not right. It felt staged. And I know damn well there wasn't a hiccup in what she said because it was rehearsed and it looked like she was reading. Just saying. I don't buy it at all. It seemed very staged, acting. So yellow, yellow, yellow is supposedly the color for Nancy. I'm wondering, did Annie pick that color because it has to go with the date that Nancy went missing? Yellow is the color of the Imbolc, which is the new year. Why is that important? Well, let's talk about some things. Let's start with, this is all about scorched, right? It's the fire festivals. It's the Imbolc. It is a Leo, which is a fire sign, versus a water sign, Aquarius, at this specific time of February 1st, 2026. It is a supermoon. It is a full moon. It is, as I said, Imbolc, the witches. Well, it's also a pagan holiday, but also witches. Now, I do want to make this clear. I am not judgmental. If you want to be a pagan, that is your decision. Go do your thing. That is your ballgame. There are good pagans, there are bad pagans. And I'm talking about the witches and the warlocks that are doing black magic. I'm not talking about those that are out there smelling lavender and trying to spread love at all. I'm talking about the unholy. Okay. So over on the right, you're going to see I wrote the exact words on this letter because she has very sloppy writing. She says, Mama, we miss you so much. Our hearts are broken. We are standing on ash. Is this a confession letter? Come on. I'm talking about Scorch, right? I'm talking about DJ Mojito, Secret Mutilator. I'm talking about burn, burn, burn. Everything is burning with them. They're all about, and then you have Annie burning on the embers of hope. Oh my gosh. Sherry, you guys, let's just take a moment. I want to say thank you to one of our sponsors, Sherry Floors. Thank you, lovely, for sponsoring 20 memberships. That is such a blessing. I couldn't begin to name each of you, but thank you incredibly, Sherry, so very much. I've never seen anything like that. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're going to get the goat, Sherry. You're getting the goat. I appreciate you. Okay, you guys, welcome to all of our beautiful private eyes. Take your gift and thank Sherry. That's amazing. Woe is me, says Barbara. Okay, talking about Savannah. She is a narcissist with a smile. They know what happened to Nancy. I'm so over the Guthrie family. So many planets in Aries. Aries is fire. Right, Wendy Smith. Almost all of them, like 10 heavenly bodies in Aries, okay? This just gets crazy. All right. Let's keep going. So she says, standing on ash, on scorched earth. To me, this is screaming cremation. You're not going to really bury somebody out there in the desert. It is rock hard and dry, and it is like bone trying to chip in. So they would possibly do their burning ritual. But Mom, she says, though we are surrounded by so much darkness and uncertainty, I bet you are, our love burns bright. She cannot get away from saying ash, scorched, and burning because words are spells, and she's a self-proclaimed witch. You feel me? The words are chosen. She's a poet. She teaches poetry at the University of Arizona, or at least she did. Every word has weight, has a meaning. She chose everything specifically. Standing on ash, on scorched earth, our love burns bright. Okay? So I wanted you to kind of see how she writes. Very insightful. Right, Michelle? Right. Okay, let's get into a little bit more. I'm just going to focus on Annie today. I am not saying that Savannah hasn't got me all riled up. That's just a video for a different day. Let her have her first day back at work. I'm definitely going to be looking at Miss 5'9", Savannah, because something's wrong here, man. This is actually cut right off of a page written by Annie Guthrie, and these are her types of words. This is one of her poems. A girl inside a dumpster, you heard me right, a girl inside a dumpster finds a lockbox unlocked. Does Annie see herself inside of a dumpster? A girl inside of a dumpster finds a lockbox unlocked. So discovers something that is unlocked for just her, right? So a girl inside a dumpster finds a lockbox unlocked. Stowed in an opening, a ring shaped like a 5-pronged jack skips back the long-gone bouncing ball as imitation in the stare of somebody in a photograph. Paper faces, unfolding figurines. The call is muffed, casual, historic, unwinding in signature. Little stars popping off a name in unnamed storage, calling the call of the sublime. Annie Guthrie. Okay, started all that. I've tried to read this a dozen times. I am a Gemini. I've written a lot of poetry. Nothing published, but I've written a lot of poetry. I've studied a lot of poetry. This doesn't even follow through with what the point of the matter is for me personally. Just saying, she's definitely different. So when it comes to Annie, I want you to know, she says, quote unquote, I believe poetry can touch upon some truths about consciousness that science and philosophy may not. And Guthrie is the recipient of the 2016 Artist Research and Development Grant. Artist Research and Development Grants are designed to support the advancement of artistic research, aid in the development of artistic work, and recognize the contributions individual artists make to Arizona's community. For more information, blah, blah, blah. Annie Guthrie is a writer and a jeweler from Tucson. She teaches creative writing courses at the University of Arizona Poetry Center and offers apprenticeships through her website, www.annieguthrie.net. All right, I realize this is older, but that website is a scam completely and will give your computer a virus. Don't click it. Don't go there, friend. I did. Annie published a book on the craft of jewelry making, instant gratification, with Chronicle Books in 2001. And her first book of poems, The Good Dark, was published with Tupelo Press in 2015. She received her MFA from Warren Wilson College in 1998 and a Bachelor's of Art and Poetry in 1992 from the University of Arizona. Guthrie has work published in several journals, including 1913, A Journal of Forums, Cut Bank, Drunken Boat, Fairy Tale Review, Many Mountains Moving, and it goes on and on and on. So she's very published. But now, lovely, let's see, we want to go to a website and I want to try to buy her book. Let's come over here. Let's go. We're going to go see how to buy Annie Guthrie's book. Because you can't. Nope. Let me show you what I talk about. So, The Good Dark is a 2015 book of poetry by Annie Guthrie, published by the Tupelo Press. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let's shop for it. It's literally... Let me remove this. This is the only place it's showing. Okay. The Good Dark right here. In stock online. Okay, it was not available. So hold on. If it's in stock, we're going to buy it now. Okay, hold on. We need this book. So I can't show you that because I'm going to buy it right now. I want this book. I could not get... I tried everything to get this book, and it was removed completely. Okay. I will come back and do that. I will buy the book. I was going to show you. I tried eBay. I tried Amazon. I tried Tupelo Press. I tried Barnum's Books. I tried everything, and the book had been removed and was no longer available. And now it's saying I can buy it. So I have to log in and I have to do all this. I wonder if I can do just guest checkout. I want that book. Okay, we've got to say we're not a robot. And now we're checking in. Okay, I'm going to order this book. But it's not showing I have anything in my cart. All right, sorry. I'm just going to hold it there. Let's get back into this. So, The Good Dark, I couldn't find it anywhere. Her book had been removed. I now think I may have it. But what was interesting is she is a self-proclaimed witch. And in that, Imbolc is the pagan holiday for the new year. If you're a witch, you most likely follow that. And this is where it just gets wild when you find out what the ritual is for that holiday, because it has to do with back doors and why back doors are left open. So right here, Imbolc traditionally falls on February 1st. Okay? It is one of the 8 Sabbats on the modern pagan wheel of the year. Let's go to 2026. Here's the wheel of the year, and in 2026, it indeed is February 1st, and it's a festival of purification, inspiration, and the first signs of spring associated with goddess Bridget and the hearth, as well as it just happens to be that it's falling on February 2nd, which also is the full moon, snow moon, which has to do with poetry and metalworking, blacksmithing, both of which Annie Guthrie does. And it just so happens that of all the other New Year's, this one is falling in Aquarius, which is Nancy's actual zodiac sign. You can see it right there by the little waves, right? Okay, let's get over here. The primary witch pagan holiday associated with January 31st, which is also February 1st, is Imbolc Eve. I went over this a little bit with you guys, but it's also the Displot. The Displot is when you do a sacrifice if you are of that religion. It's also the Greek goddess of witchcraft day, and the Imbolc, which has to do with the wheel of the year. Now, Imbolc is a fire festival. Remember, we've got Scorched, we've got, Kayla Day, we've got the Secret Mutilator, we've got DJ Mojito, who is sponsoring Scorch, who also is the resident DJ at Club Congress. Same week, hello, as Tommaso performing with Early Black, his band, at Club Congress in the same week in July of this past year. So as we continue, you can see here that Imbolc also is associated with healing, poetry, and blacksmithing, which is metallurgy, which is working with jewelry and so forth as well. And here's the bombshell. Listen to this little thing I Googled. What is one of their rituals of this said holiday? Okay? Are you ready for this? So what is Imbolc? Well, it's the witch's new year. And in that, they have to do some things. They have to clean immaculately. And that's strange how we hear that about Nancy's home was immaculate. Not just clean, immaculate. And then we hear that the back doors, 2 of them, were propped open, and that then you see the blood trail leading from the front entryway across the threshold and onto that front porch, suggesting Nancy went out the front. But why do we have the back doors open? Now, if you're not following this whole breadcrumb of, Kiki and why she's standing out there in the middle of Nancy Guthrie's road doing completely fans-only bull crap, which is so disrespectful and nasty and vulgar. And we're all like, she looks just like those from Scorch. She wears the same shoes, the same clothes, everything. She's like, I'm not. I'm a true crimer. Bullshit. You have to think about the rituals. So you have to clean your house. But there's something very specific that they have to do. Are you ready? Let's do this. New Year rituals in Irish Scottish folklore, also pagans, which are the witches too. Not all pagans are witches, but these are the bad witches, the icky witches. It is traditional to open the back door at midnight on New Year's Eve to let the old year, to let it out. and any associated bad spirits or negative energy out. And then open the front door to welcome the new year. So you'd open the back doors to let out the negative energy and to follow through with your ritual of Imbolc, which is all about self-love. And it's a battle between Leo, which is all about self-love, and Aquarius, which is about overgiving and trying to look for the good of all and self-sacrifice. There's this spiritual battle in the astrology. Isn't that also true with Annie Guthrie? Isn't she somehow probably struggling with having to care for her mother all the time, having young kids and a marriage, and they can't even travel away from home? Meanwhile, everybody else living their good life and out there with Carson Daly and their kids and doing fun things. Not good old Annie, who's not brilliant like Cameron, but rather, what was it? Takes such good care of my mother. So when you have this Leo Aquarius battle, it's as if the universe is telling Annie, hey, this is all about you. It's about blacksmithing, which is your jewelry stuff when you're working with metal, silvers and gold and so forth. And it's all about poetry in your words. You've got 6 planets perfectly aligned in a parade. You have a full moon in Leo, fire sign. You have Imbolc, the fire festival. Your husband's in the band, the early black. You write the good dark. All right, you guys, let's get into even a little bit stranger. Now, let's just take a step back and let's look at something about Annie's jewelry. So on her Etsy site, these are the kind of things you'll find, plus other jewelry that isn't like this. But I didn't have to search hard. I went 3 pages in. These all came from the first 3 pages. Therapy is not enough. I need to fight the government. Okay? A lot of this. Resist bracelet. These are all over her page. Fuck Trump. It says, and I'm not political, I could care less, I'm just showing you. Dainty anti-Trump bracelets, $18.41. Go to Annie Guthrie's Etsy page. Look at this one. Fuck Trump Morse code bracelet. Morse code bracelet. And then I was looking at this one. Fuck Trump. Again. This one's very disturbing. I thought I'd show this to you. This is some of Annie Guthrie's jewelry. And it says, I would eat his heart in the marketplace. I would eat his heart in the marketplace. What? And this one just says, fuck ICE, which I'm not political, so I don't care. But we need to factor it in. We need to factor all this in. She's very against this current president. And being that he did speak up on the Nancy Guthrie case, I find that very interesting. I also find it interesting that these are the bracelets from her website, which she could have made anything. But we were looking over here, right, at this bracelet on this person. And I was like, okay, she's got that kind of bracelet, but it's got beads rather than these slanted lines on the edges, right? But it could be a different kind of bracelet. This says, don't let the hard days win. So I kept digging around, just looking to see what she had. I got this bracelet. Let me bring it front and center. And as you can see, it goes into chain, but it is thicker. And it just has flowers on it. So I was like, well, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Some of you felt that it was bangle bracelets, that there's several bracelets, and she sells hundreds of these. Okay? So then I got to this one. And let me just, oh, it froze. hold on, y'all. While the website comes unfroze, Annie works in metal. This person's wearing bracelets. I'm just like, is it possible that this person is wearing some of Annie Guthrie's jewelry? I don't know. But I do find it completely so an answer why the back door was wide open and why there's blood leading out the front. Because if you were practicing Imbolc, that would be the night that you would take Nancy Guthrie. That would be February 1st, the night. And if you are practicing Imbolc, that house has to be cleaned immaculately. Because that is saying to the universe, I'm cleaning out all the old energy. And not only is it cleaned, but it has to be spiritually cleaned. And so you open up, not the front right away, you open up the back first and let all the bad energy go out the back. And then that's why you would leave out the front, because you're heading towards your future. So your past is behind you in the symbolic ritual by leaving the doors open, by cleaning out the spiritual energy and the physical energy. And clean is what Nancy's is. I asked the same thing. Did she make the bracelet? Right, DA? That's what I want to know too. All right, so let's look at this bracelet. I wanted you to see, which one was it? I think it was this one. Now, I can't tell if this is all metal or not over here, but it's closer. It's not necessarily the one. But you can see the bar. You can see a bar with no lines, and then you can see the lines go sideways. Now, I can't tell if they're braided or not. It kind of looks like it over here. So I was like, okay, let me grab this, and it says, remember who the fuck you are. That's the jewelry she sells. All right, so look at the lines on the bracelet. I don't know. But I thought it was, worth looking into. Before we do our final thing today, which is to look at Annie in the mask, right? I mean, I have to. Family plot, Tommaso's son, Annie and Tommaso, and cheap labor. Molly says, I think about it before. 2 weeks ago, I looked at the eyes and eyebrows and eyelashes with mascara on the guy in the camera. Please look closely. It has to be a woman. This might be interesting. Maybe her hatred for Trump will be what gets her caught. Could be. Rhonda says, Mama D, you have nailed it. That's why them back doors are open. Divine Candor says, and the materials are so important too. Yes. All right, you guys, are you ready for this? We're almost out of time. I want to have time to do this. So, I've already put the mask of the person, the perpetrator, on. And I just grabbed this picture of Annie. All right. Are you ready? Let's walk it. I'm going to go slow. You guys tell me what you think. Right there we have the in-between. Keep watching. I do find it interesting that Annie's nose is actually crooked. It looks like at one point it was broken. And so's the perps. So. And then finally we're back on the mask. Just that easy. Now we're going to go backwards and we're going to show you Annie. The next step I take is actually going to be the first inkling of Annie. So pick an eye, not both, but one. I don't care which, and focus on it. We'll do this. You can do first. I'll go with the right eye, which is going to be the one closest to her photograph. Then we'll go back and we'll do the left eye. So focus on that one eye. I'm going back and forth, back and forth. So Annie's eye does not change in the least. Is that not disturbing? I'm going back and forth. Nothing changes. Now look at the other eye. I don't know, y'all. I'm letting you tell me. I want to know. I want to know what your thoughts are. I've got to know. Give me a 1 if you think it's a match. Give me a 2 if you think it's not a match. And give me a 3 if you are unsure. I'm just running back and forth, back and forth. Hey, Mary. Thank you for the snooper chat. $4.99. Thank you, lovely. If they know how awful dump is, they know right from wrong. Innocent, in your opinion. Okay. Thank you, lovely. Surely not. Eyes of Tommy more feminine. Lifts in shoes to appear taller and less likely to be caught. All right. Are y'all seeing the ones? Let's just do it. 1. Pax, how crazy. Ryan 1, Smudger 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh, y'all. Yeah, we've got almost 500 people, and I haven't seen anything. Okay, Tyro, I'm trying to grab you, lovely. You say not a match. J.E. Girl says, I'm trying to grab it, y'all. Chat's flying. Says not sure. Unfreaking believable, says Park C. 1. Intuit Divine says that's probably why she and Tommaso have not spoken in public. Their silence may be golden to them. Oh, yeah. Kathy Winkleman. Let me say that again. Kathy Winkleman. Everything in Arizona is pokey. Whoever went over and melt down in the dark with a flashlight and grabbed those plants obviously knew they were able to grab them without being poked. And wouldn't it be more like a girl, a poet, a jewelry person to just grab some flowers and know that you're not going to get stickers because you know those flowers? Yeah, the ones are just coming in. Does hurt. And you guys, what if the tattoo is the rub-on kind and purposely being shown to the camera? Like, think about this for a minute. Could that first initial perp photograph that we have without the pew-pew in the backpack, could that be the test run to see if I am Annie, how I look on camera, if I look like a male? Because you'd have access to the camera to look. And you do it the week before when everybody's sleeping, so nobody know but you, and you could check the camera without anybody knowing. And who cares if it's on there? If it passed to look like a perp. Wasn't Savannah the one that gave the interview to Unka? And I'm sorry if I say that wrong, I don't know her. That she was like, I was so grateful that the perp was caught on the camera, the face of this horrible person, so that everybody knew it was exterior of me and my family. Isn't that exactly what the perp was on camera doing? They trusted their disguise so well that they looked right in the camera. They didn't even keep their head down while they're doing stuff. No, they're like, are you getting me? Because you're never gonna get this. I mean, I know we have Sheriff Bananos as the sheriff. There's not a chance in hell that Barney Fife is gonna figure out this shit, that I'm actually a female, and that the reason that they're not going to find any DNA is because my DNA be all over this house. That's how I feel. It's my opinion. Doesn't make it fact? No. But damn, I do know why them back doors was open. Just let that negative energy from the, ritual of Imbolc out the back door. Meanwhile, you take Nancy out the front door. If she's wearing shoes, it might make her walk similar. You could walk, who would you imitate? If you're trying to be a guy, who would you imitate? You would imitate a person that you've known for a long time, even your husband, right? Because you can imitate the body. You could imitate the movements. Would it be him? No. So they can't arrest him. But it would be things of how you know. And if you're padded up because you're wearing multiple layers to give you that costume of looking like a bulky male, you might have a hard time bending your knee if you got on jeans and other bulky stuff for padding in your legs. Otherwise, you know, Annie's got some chicken legs. She's got saggy ass pants in the bottom, so she could pull off the baggy britches pretty easy. But, and I know somebody's going to be like, that was so rude. It's the fact. Her pants sag. She got saggy bottom back there. She could pull her pants up if she don't want people talking about saggy britches. But what I'm saying is, she got the build. You pad her up. All she got to do is walk like somebody she's familiar with, a male. Could she have tried to imitate the way Tommaso kind of walks? Like, walk again, honey, so I get an idea. Just a thought. Annie is shorter than Tommaso and Savannah. Very much so. Daydreamer feels Annie is involved. All right, you guys. Let me see why I've got... Yeah. That is what I have for you today. I'll let you look one more time. And you be the judge. And then we're going to get off here. And for those of you that want to continue on with me, I invite you to do so. I'm going to pull some cards on good old Annie here and see what the cards reveal. We'll go walk it back up. I don't know, it feels like a natural transition. And now we'll take Annie out. Annie in, Annie in, Annie in. Annie out, out, out. Annie in, in. Annie out, 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 out. And only the perp. You guys tell me what you think. Mama D, 100%, 100. Thank you, Peebles. Lord, you are preaching, Mama D. Thank you, Rhonda. I can't help it. No, Savannah knows the truth. I agree. I feel like there's more to this. That was so... Y'all, that back door was left open for the Imbolc holiday. Who would be celebrating the Imbolc holiday? A witch and a warlock. I'm not saying she's guilty. I'm just saying it all looks that way to me. To me personally, I feel like she is the number one person of interest. Her and Tommaso, I don't know. I'm going to leave you to think what you want. You can fully disagree with me. I totally get it. I respect you. Be kind. Be respectful like I am of you. And thank you for all the thumbs up. Let's keep working. You guys inspire me to keep digging deeper and understanding things and digging through Annie's Etsy to find these bracelets and looking at these maskings. All the likes, the hypes, and all the gold stars that YouTube gives me from you. It just pushes me further, fuels me further, because I'm not doing this just for Nancy. I'm doing this also for justice, for the light against the dark. I am not having a faith issue. I'm here to tell you my faith is absolutely as strong as it can get. And I believe in Jesus, truly, and I don't doubt him. I'm not going to compare myself ever to Jesus. I will not even come close to measuring up, because I am nothing but a human that is doing my best on this planet. But I do appreciate you very, very much, and you are a blessing to me. And I say thank you, Jesus, all the time, because you're in my life. I truly do. All right, my lovelies, with that, I think it gave you a lot to think about. But now at least you can walk away and you have a new perspective of why Possibly those back doors were really left open. Not only left open, but propped. Why the house was immaculate. Was it all part of the ritual of Imbolc? That's a big question. And who else would be going to that extreme in that house? I don't know. All right, my lovelies, I love you very much, and I will see you again on the flip side. If you are jumping over with me, it'll be about 5 minutes at the very most, and we'll get started. So get yourself a snack and a drink and cuddle in, and we'll pull some cards if that's your thing. If not, skip this step. I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now, my lovelies.
I was born to the dirt, I shall return when my eyes are closed. In the shadows, my enemies will think that